Hi, I'm Erin, and this is the first video for We Learn Naturally. I wanted to share with you an observation that we've had since starting our first program, Learning in the Woods. I know that some of you are following along on Facebook because you're starting your own school, or perhaps you just are looking for ways to improve the schools that your kids are already a part of. And chances are I'm following you along too because I'm starting a school. But yeah, I wanted to share our first observation in hopes that it can help you if you're trying to create a multi-age program yourself. So for Learning in the Woods, we wanted it to be multi-age and child-centered and like a self-directed curriculum. So as we were trying to figure out what our class sizes should be, we kind of thought maybe a ratio of 10 kids to one adult might be ideal. And as we started to actually live the program and be there in the moment, we very quickly realized that you want a larger class size if you're outdoors, assuming that none of your kids have major special needs. And by major special needs, I mean a whole bunch of major special needs in a classroom looks way different when you're outside in a natural environment. So while we might have kids who would be diagnosed with ADHD inside a classroom where you're trying to teach a set curriculum, outside it's way different. I I would not classify them as any sort of special needs. So, assuming that you're not teaching a set curriculum, you're outdoors, you want to be child directed and multi age, you actually want a larger group of kids so that they have more resources to draw on because their resources are actually each other. And while they still want to interact with adults, a lot of their interest in natural learning comes from interacting with each other. Another thing that we had to quickly realize was that if you want to have a multi-age environment, you don't actually ever want to segregate people by ages. We thought that we would want to have the children who needed sort of more adult support with their caregivers. We thought, you know what, we'll give them a special time. They can come on a different day and sort of get used to the program and the structure of the program. And we very quickly realized that we're doing them a disservice by doing that. If we want kids to feel comfortable in a multi-age environment, we actually have to start them out in that multi-age environment and have the parents slowly taper off their support so that the kids can feel confident in what they're doing, and it just cuts down on the number of transitions for the child. So those are two things that we learned, and probably the third thing that we learned is how much learning there is involved for the adults. We had our first meeting as facilitators, and I think we're sort of feeling like, wow, we might be learning more than the kids. So everything that we're learning about how to really facilitate a multi-age environment for the kids, we're also having to communicate to the parents so that they understand why we're looking to collapse smaller classes into larger ones, and why it's so important that the littlest kids, the stepping stone kids, actually don't have their own time slot. Those are just sort of the ideas that we've grown up with and that we're used to, and the systems that we've always been a part of, public schools and private schools and even recreational programs. All of those systems sort of tell us you want small class sizes, you want to segregate kids by age, and turns out you don't. So I hope those observations are helpful to you. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.